Hi, book besties. So I would like to acknowledge quite a few elephants in the room. Firstly, it never fails. They were on 24 hours ago, and suddenly, bop, 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 they fell off. I don't know what to tell you. Secondly, I have been gone for a while, and some of you may be wondering, what is the reason? Well, I'm an American, and I think that's enough for some of you to understand. If you know, you know. Put the pieces together, maybe do some calculations as to when I last posted, and you'll understand. I have been spiraling, but I'm back. Not quite done spiraling, but you know, what can you do? It is what it is, and honestly, I've missed you guys. Oh my God. We have so much to catch up on. Like, if you don't want to hear the long spiel that I'm about to go into, you can go ahead and go to this time right here. I don't know how to do timestamps, so we're just gonna have to wing it. If anybody knows how to do timestamps, let me know. Maybe I should probably look it up. If I have looked it up and stopped being a lazy bitch, timestamp will be below. If not, it's on the screen, okay? I got asked recently, like, who are these videos for? Because this, I'm kind of just like spewing out information of what I'm reading and what is happening in the book. And like, who would read that, right? If you're just trying to figure out whether you want to read the book or not. Well, not all people who watch booktubers are watching videos on books that they haven't read yet. So A, you've already read the book and you're coming here to see somebody else's reaction and or relive the book with someone else. Or you're bored as fuck and you're doing house chores. You need something on in the background. I got you. B, you are a loved one, a family member, a friend of someone who keeps spewing this garbage into your ears, and you can't find an excuse to spend maybe 5 days, depending on how busy you are and you know what other extracurricular activities you have, reading a book that's like 800 plus pages. Yeah, SJM, I'm calling you out. So you come here because you can take 30 minutes out of your day to kind of just catch up and see what the fuck is going on. So you can have conversations with these loved ones of yours and kind of know what the hell's going on and their opinions and why they feel a certain way about certain characters. And C, did I do 1, 2, 3 or ABC? Whatever. C, you have anxiety. Yeah, you do. Don't lie, it's okay. You either have anxiety or you don't give a shit about spoilers. That's the conclusion we gotta come to here. A lot of people need to know what the hell they're walking into, especially those of you who are pretty sensitive to triggers and stuff like that. If you're not as emotionally invested in the book, it's gonna be easier to maybe hear about a particular scenario and determine that it's not for you, just based off of the very emotionally detached description. Because let me tell you something, once you're in the world, this shit hits you like a fucking freight train. So I don't blame you. This is who these videos are for. And you don't have to fall into those groups to also watch my videos, but I think those groups have kind of labeled just about anybody that would. I don't know, comment down below if you're somebody different, you know? Guys, I promised myself I wasn't gonna look like shit in this intro, but I can't find the will inside me to put an ounce of makeup on. So this is the version of me you get, and I hope you love it because it's too late. I'm already filming. I'm not gonna refilm this once I put my face on. Anyway, now I'm just rambling. Let's get into the video. I started off with Assassin's Blade. I understand, yes, I know, it's the 3rd book, but trust and believe me, I would have been so pissed if I would have read Assassin's Blade 3rd, because I already know what happens by the time you get to the 3rd book. We start off with Assassin's Blade and we're getting introduced to the Assassin's Guild. Arobin, the like leader of the Assassin's Guild, Selena, and Sam, and some other people, but they don't really fucking matter. Sam, he's her rival, but he is taking 2nd place because Selena is whooping that ass. Selena's mentor is unalived, and Arobin sends Selena and Sam to this like pirate's place under the guise of getting revenge for her mentor because the pirate supposedly killed her mentor. That's not what they're there for. Arobin is now trying to get in on this slave trade, and Selena was like, hell no. Initially, she came up with a plan that didn't involve Sam, but Sam was like, I know you're up to something, and this basically catapults their relationship because previously they were like at each other's throats. They're trying to work together, and they realize they have a little bit of chemistry, okay? And then he almost like dies. And I think that wakes up a little bit of feelings that Selena didn't know she had. Obviously, they're in trouble with Arobin. Selena gets her ass kicked. Sam, I don't even know what fucking happens to him. Then Selena is taken to the monk assassin's place, but she has to take a little trip there, okay? And the POV switches to some random chick whose mom used to be a healer back when magic was present in the lands. Her and Selena meet. Selena basically helps her get out of this fucking dumpster fire that she's in when she finally gets to this monk assassin's guild. The reason I call it that is because it is giving monk vibes, okay? They're very zen people. They're still assassins, don't get me wrong, but the practice is so different. It's so foreign to what Selena's used to. She learns a lot of stuff here. And then she meets this crazy ass redhead. They grew really close. He tries to send Selena away before she unleashed hell onto this guild, and Selena came back because she kind of put two and two together and realized that this bitch is fucking insane. Selena didn't kill her. I don't know if that's going to end up biting her in the ass later on. Selena ends up traveling back to Arobin and her guild, and she realizes that she no longer wants to be associated with these people and living this lifestyle. She was able to buy her freedom and Sam's freedom. She didn't immediately do that. Her and Sam kept getting into it. One of their fights led to a confession. Now the cat's out the bag. They're in love with each other. He's always loved her. She, not so much. They move out of the guild and they go into their own place. For some reason, they end up having to see Arobin again. Arobin needs more money. Sam wanted to provide the money that they needed because Selena's already done so much, and he was like, look, I want to be able to be responsible for this time. He ended up finding an assassin job because that's literally the only thing that they can do. They have no experience doing anything fucking else, to kill the crime bosses, the crime lords that live in that area. They come up with a plan. They start tracking this guy. Sam's like, look, Selena, I don't really want you involved. I want you to be safe. And normally she always goes against the grain and doesn't listen, but this time she did. I don't know how she was able to sleep until 12 p.m. the next day, but she did, and she woke up to Arobin knocking at her door saying that Sam's body showed up. I'm not okay. I still have not recuperated from that scene. That scene broke me. She ends up plotting revenge, going for Farron. It's a setup, okay? Farron gasses her, sends her to the castle to get beheaded, and apparently it was also just a setup so Arobin could come in and save the day. But things didn't exactly go to plan. She got sent to the slave camps. Crazy thing is, Arobin and Farron have been associated with each other for quite some time. Arobin set up Sam's death. So we move on into Throne of Glass. And this is when I start to get upset with Selena because it's only been a year. I just read Sam's brutal unaliving, and you're sitting here eyeing up the captain of the guard, Kaol, and the crown prince, Dorian. On a happy note, she did survive a year. But anyway, the crown prince comes up to her and is basically like, hey, look, we want you to join this competition for the role of my father's champion. He signs up for it because, I mean, what else is she gonna do? There's a lot of tension between Dorian and Selena. Their relationship starts to build. They both read. They're flirty and funny. Kaol and Selena also have some tension, but Kaol's a lot more serious, so it's awkward. We meet the princess of Ilway. Her name was Nehemia. Nehemia basically pretends that she doesn't know how to speak English, but it's okay because Selena was literally living with the Ilway slaves. She kind of knows Nehemia's language, so that's, they talk like that. There is a monster on the loose, killing the contestants one by one. Yeah, so while that's going on, we have this guy, Kane. He's a piece of shit. He really is. But he has some real sus stuff going on. He's constantly by the word marks. The word marks Nehemia has taught Selena are ancient magic that can't really go away. It's like the loophole to magic, I guess. I don't really understand it my damn self, but Kane is constantly by these word marks. He keeps getting bigger. Like Selena's noticing that this man is just swole as fuck? He's like clawed at his throat. And then Selena finds tunnels underneath the castle where she ends up meeting the first queen. She has some mission for Selena, but all her missions are always some fucking riddle that Selena has to figure out. She does help save Selena a few times. Selena's not the only one who knows about these tunnels. Cain is down there one day when Selena decides to explore. He's there using the word marks to call out this demon monster thing. She ends up killing this thing, but not Cain. So he's able to bring new monsters in and manipulate stuff and bring her in between worlds on the very last competition that they're having, where basically Cain and her are going head to head because they're like the last two alive. Nehemia has been aware of all this, by the way. Not the full extent of it, but she does, along with the queen, help save Selena on that last fight because Selena was drugged. Selena and Dorian were hot and heavy for a while, and Kael was just like, from the ground, he looked up at her in her balcony and was like, she doesn't even see me. The dramatics were just crazy. But you know what is even crazier? Being so head over heels for Dorian, just to finally be in the safe zone. You're the king's champion. Now all of a sudden your feelings for Dorian have vanished. Pardon me? Like, what the fuck are you talking about? What is happening right now? Why? Maybe it kind of has to do with the fact that Cain, at the very last second, he tries to kill her. And Kael sliced this man's feels real bad about it. I don't know why. He is glad that he did it because Selena's still alive. And obviously, you know, he has feelings for Selena. But he doesn't know how to deal with the guilt of killing someone. And then lastly, we have the Crown of Midnight. This is when shit gets real fucking crazy. Dorian and Selena, no longer a thing. Dorian is still pining for her. Do not get it twisted. Do not get it messed up. All right, Dorian has not given up, but he is trying to give up because he understands that Selena and Kael kind of have a thing. Kael and Selena, I hate them. I truly, honestly hate them together. That's neither here nor there. Let's get back to the juiciness of the story. Selena has been killing the king's targets, except she has not. She's told them, I'm going to give you the option of being able to run away, disappear, change your name. I don't care what you do, but you better not be seen around these parts again. But this time, her target is Archer something or other. She knows Archer. Archer used to come to the Assassin's Guild all the time. He worked for Clarissa, who is basically, she's the pimp of all the courtesans, which are just a bunch of people who do something strange for some change, okay? She's like, Archer couldn't possibly be part of a rebellion against the king. That can't be possible. She goes and she tracks Archer, and then she plans to meet him. But Kael follows her. I can't remember if she invites Kael or Kael follows her. We see Kael's point of view. He's not a fan of Archer because Selena decides to take the flirty route. Kael basically is like, I've never been so happy that this man is going to basically die because Selena has to kill him. I'm sorry. It is too funny. Fast forward, Nehemia and Selena keep getting into these arguments because Nehemia is kind of trying to plant the seed of a possible rebellion. Selena's like, no, I just want to do what I need to do, buy my freedom, live a normal life. And Nehemia's like, you're basically such a little bitch. You see all this shit happening. Don't you want to make a change? Especially now that you're in a position where you can. And Selena's like, fuck no. I think they make up at some point, but then they fight again, basically about the same shit. Selena confronts Archer about everything, and Archer's like, well, I'm not part of the rebellion, like, but I know who is. So he rats out this guy, shows up to a party with Selena in tow. Selena goes and digs through this rebellion starter's home, and they gets caught, and then he injects her with poison. So Selena runs back, drugged up. Kael's like at a wit's end, basically, and then this is when their romance really solidifies. He's freaking out, basically, or like, look, you scared the shit out of me, and I never want that to happen again, and I love you. And she's like, I love you too. And then they kiss, and then spend day after day after day. They woohoo. Nehemia fucking is under fire. There's like a threat on her life. The king tells Chaol not to say anything, to keep it under wraps. Do not let Celaena know, is basically what he's saying, because he sees that Chaol and Celaena are starting to get a little close. Chaol eventually gets kidnapped. Celaena hunts them all down. Anybody in her way, she unalives them. Who are these people? It's the rebellion group. And then, out of the shadows, pops up Archer, the one who said he wasn't involved in any of this shit. Yeah, fucking liar. Nehemia has been a part of this shit the entire time. That's why she was trying to plant about possible rebellion. She didn't necessarily trust the group, we find out later on, but what they were standing for was good. But maybe moving it in a different direction, because Archer has been a sketchy motherfucker to everyone since the beginning. Nehemia did not trust him. Then Archer's like, well, we kidnapped him because he knows about the threat to Nehemia's life. Basically, he's insinuating that the king put someone in charge of taking care of Nehemia. Celaena's like, what? And then Chaol's like, ooh. I did kind of know there was a threat on Nehemia's life, but I figured everything's fine. Celaena's like, what? She runs all the way back. Chaol's like on her heels. She gets there and surprise, surprise, Nehemia's dead. I forgot to mention, Dorian has powers. Just wanted to throw that in there real quick because what I'm about to say wouldn't make sense without you guys knowing that Nehemia was going to help him kind of control these powers because she could sense it. So Celaena sees Nehemia. She loses it. The first thing that she's thinking is, Chaol fucking did this. If he would have just told me, then I could have been here. So she turns to him. Death is in her eyes. And she tries to kill him. I'm so serious. She tries to kill him. Her emotions are ramped up. Not only did Nehemia die, a death that possibly could have been prevented. What? They were currently fighting. Celaena is kind of dealing with this guilt right now. Anyway, so she tries to kill Chaol, and Dorian magically stops her hand from going any further. Celaena kind of put two and two together later on. Celaena ends up getting locked up in the cellars or threatening the captain of the guard's life, and then she ends up talking to Lysandra, who's like just all drugged up. What she's saying is true. It's really happening. But because of the state that she's in, Celaena kind of just takes it as, oh, this bitch is like gone. Like mentally, she's just not there anymore. Sandra's onto something. She's spilling the beans. She knows that there's a plan for her. She's not quite sure what's going to happen, but the king and the duke are in on something. I should specify something that I forgot to tell you about the last book. The king knows about the word marks, the powers that they have, and the tunnels underneath the castle. Celaena and Dorian get close again. This like traveling circus thing comes in to town. There's this witch called Baba Yellowlegs, I believe. Dorian comes to her, asking her questions about powers and like how it could possibly still exist, but not ratting himself out, even though she's a fucking witch. Like she already knows. She gives some like weird cryptic answers, and then Celaena comes. Baba Yellowlegs tries to sell information about Dorian to her after asking a few questions about the word marks, because oh my god, I've left out so much. There's a talking doorknob that's been helping Celaena. They also found out that the word marks have word keys, and that these keys make whoever owns them very, very powerful. These word marks can open portals into other worlds. She was asking Baba Yellowlegs about a few of those things. She got some answers. She realized she had to kill Baba Yellowlegs because A, she knew too much, and B, she was trying to sell Dorian's information. Like, absolutely fucking not. So she did. One day she's in the library, she hears some noise, she goes down, she finds another fucking tunnel. Oh my god, there's like 50 million tunnels here. Dorian kind of like following her. I was like, does she know something? Thank God he came, because this thing, this like monster used to be human kind of thing, which might be important later, just saying, it attacks Dorian and Celaena. Finally, we end up killing this thing. Celaena's like, oh, so you have powers. And he's like, yeah. They start doing research together, and Chaol's just kind of in the background. Like, there's a book that Celaena had to find because she wanted to get in contact with Nehemia in the afterlife. So she takes this book and uses the word marks and creates this portal. Nehemia's like, dumb bitch, why the fuck would you do this? She's like, look, I already knew what was going to happen to me. It was like a little snippet where it literally just says, the princess said the queen said. So we can infer that Princess Nehemia probably had a conversation with the first queen of Otterlin. Their conversation consisted of, Celaena's not ready to step into her power yet, but you know what you need to do, princess, to push her forward. I guess that means she had to die. Wild. So somebody ends up coming up behind Celaena and she hears them and she's like smudging the word marks, ends up morphing them into something different. Okay. She doesn't really take that into account because she's having a conversation with fucking Archer. And Archer basically admits to being the one who hired one of their ex-contestants. He admits to hiring that guy to kill Nehemia. Celaena loses it in a manipulative way, like, if I get close enough to him, I can kill him. And she's like, oh, you know, like, I totally understand and you're so right and we would be great together, because he's like still trying to recruit her. Then suddenly the portal shifts into a different dimension where a bunch of monsters are starting to come through it. And he's like, fuck this shit. And he darts off with the book. Dorian has a dream where the first king of Otterlin comes to him and is like, you need to wake the fuck up. Go to Celaena's room, push aside this tapestry, and you will know what you need to do from there. Dorian runs to Chaol's room. Nothing needs to be said. Chaol's like, we're freaking out. It's probably because of Celaena. Let's go. They see the tapestry. It's already pushed to the side, obviously, because Celaena's down there. And they go in. And they see Celaena with this open fucking portal and these monsters. Dorian tries to get in there, but obviously he can't control his powers well enough, so he has to kind of get pushed to the side, unfortunately. Chaol's like, look, you all need to go. I will take care of this. Celaena's like, fuck no. What the hell's wrong with you? Absolutely not. Chaol's fighting this thing. Dorian's taking Celaena up, and Celaena basically knocks Dorian out and goes to fight with Chaol. They get pushed into the alternate universe or whatever, and she turns into a fae. And this is when we realize that Celaena is Aelin. Aelin Galacthalith. Because I was like, who the fuck is Aelin? Okay, I kept hearing about this Aelin girl on all, like, you know, the TikToks. And I was like, this is about Celaena. Who the fuck is Aelin? Well, there we go. Same person. We don't really know that yet until later on in the book, where Chaol has her sent to Land of the Fae under the guise of trying to infiltrate the Fae for the king of Otterlin. He kind of plants that seed in the king's head, and that's what happens. As she's about to board the boat that is going to take her, she tells him to, like, look through a book that she has in her room. She gives him a clue, and he doesn't understand it until he gets there, looks through the book, and realizes that she is basically the rightful queen. So yeah, that is the reality that he has to deal with now. And I don't know how he's gonna deal with it. I feel like that went on a lot longer than I was expecting it to. I'm so sorry, but I had to catch you guys up on everything. And I've still left a lot out. Like, y'all need to, if you haven't yet, read it.